Well, it's not completed, but it is running and drivable. Accumulation of about 3 years of work on this thing. I dragged it out of the garage in late 2019, went through the car, VR6, it needed timing chains, and it sat in my garage since 2012, so sat for about 7 or 8 years in the garage, and we ended up finally getting it out in late 19, brought it out to the shop, went through the car, like I said, timing chains, almost anything I pulled the engine out, so anything I touched when I pulled the engine out I ended up replacing, stuff like that. And went through the brakes, of course, obviously, and suspension. Suspension was later on, but you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, so it's running and it's drivable. Probably, yeah, 3 years. I was figuring roughly I had like 1,000 or 1,200 hours in it so far. It's not like I work real fast, but did like a lot of little changes to the original design, I guess you could say. Used a lot of 3M products throughout, like the structural adhesive panel bond stuff, because basically they all rivet together, if you've seen some of the other videos. But so actually now, like, the rivets only just hold the thing together while the panel bond sets, and going through a lot of changes in it, just trying to make it nice and waterproof and something that's going to be reliable for a long time. So yeah, one of my channels there I think I watch a lot is Hestermann Motorworks. Mr. Hestermann, you can catch him in the Facebook groups also, but he's like one of the main gurus on building these things, and definitely helped me out tons and tons throughout this build. I got to give him some big thanks for that. And I was saying, like, with a lot of the design changes I was talking about, stuff like the wiring. The wiring, they usually have you go through the back of the cab wall, but I figured that would be kind of inconvenient and could cause some, water could kind of get on the harness and do some capillary action and start walking through the harness. So really didn't want to have that happen. I ended up, what I did with the wiring, I mean, this is only the passenger side, but just like the original wiring for the rear door, I had it go up through the door, and then it shoots over through the fender and then goes down into the bed, instead of having it go through the back wall where it's real low and get a possibility of water entering. So another thing too is I closed these gaps way down, and basically I needed to learn how to do some body work before I put the panels on, because trying to work this all out before or after it's installed would probably be a lot harder. So ended up doing that, closed them off. Now my rear window right now, that's just temporary plexiglass, and it's all bonded in actually with 3M 5200. That stuff is pretty wicked. Now I used the 5200 because I didn't use any RTV anywhere on this build. Keep the RTV for your house, for your sinks. RTV has no place in a car build. So, because later on, you're going for paint, you got RTV, that silicone, paint don't like that stuff. So I also closed this off up here, because usually they'll have you leave a little cut, run the rubber through there, but I didn't do that. So, that's all right. I kind of prefer it that way. But yeah, I mean, the body lines, they're not the greatest right now. That's all bodywork stuff that can be done later. But yeah, I decided, hey, let's build a show truck. So I ended up polishing out the bed and the suspension. That's what we went with. Complete airlift 3P setup with performance front struts. So all the dampening's adjustable, and I put some adjustable damping rear shocks in it and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part now, I mean, it's running, it drives. Paint can wait until, I don't even know if I want to mess with the paint this winter. I see so much body work here, it just kind of horrifies me. So I might just keep working bugs out of it and But yeah, for now, I'm just driving this thing for this summer and see what kind of bugs pop up. And so far, it's been good. Check engine light ain't come on. Checked all my readiness codes. I'll be able to get it inspected next week. And yeah, she's a runner, man. She's a runner. So, pretty happy with it overall. And yeah, so gonna have a fun summer with it, hopefully. Be I gotta hit some shows and stuff like that for sure. So, but yeah, finally, man, 3 years. If somebody told me it would have taken me 3 years to build this thing, I probably wouldn't have started it to begin with. But once I was about halfway in it, I couldn't stop at that point. So, well, here it is, man. Here it is, finally. I mean, I got tons of footage in the can too, but I really need to find some time to do some editing on it. I almost need to hire somebody. I need an editor. But yeah, overall, man, we're there. It's good. Glad to see it. Glad to see it finally done. Not totally done, but drivable. Still picking away at little things here and there I can tinker with. So, alright folks, enjoy. We'll catch you later.